boys, you know the drill. Pre-market plan today, I made it like 7:45, and whenever I make my plan too early, it seems to play out sometimes before the session opens. But anyway, this is my plan. So my main levels were the top of balance from 75 to 80 up here. Still can barely see it. 75 to 80 up here. And we were trading below 850. So what I liked about 850 was this is the weekly on the right here is the weekly composite. 850 was essentially where volume dropped off. So I was really looking at this balance area right here. We were trading below it, but I was like, if this 850 gets reclaimed and there's evidence supporting a move all the way up to this 75 to 80, that's where my long thesis was. So at this moment when I made the plan, we were below 50. So I was like, all right, my plan is if we break above 50, it was really 49. If we break above 49 and there's some sort of support and I have an entry model, then I want to take it long up to 75. So that was my idea before the session. And then literally right before the session, this is where we were at. We were like, just before we opened up, we were trading at around 60. So I marked this 66 to 64 level out, and you can see there was a bit of a reaction there. Let me just grab Sierra real quick. The reason why I marked that out is I was just expecting that to be a potential roadblock, and that was essentially this little spike in volume or high volume node, whatever you want to call it. So I didn't expect it to be like a complete reversal, but just an area to keep in mind that there could be a reaction there, and that's exactly what happened. This is the level right here. This is pre-market. Obviously, this green box is market open to like 10:30. It's my hours, Eastern time hours. So yeah, you can see that reaction right there, whatever. We opened up, came down below this 850, reclaimed 850, and I did not see enough confirmation right here to take it long, so I didn't take it long. Felt like I missed out up here. Remained objective, and then whenever we came back down to this 850, I should have taken it long, but I didn't. And the reason that I didn't was I didn't think there was enough confirmation once again, but I will show you guys. This is the screenshot that I took after realizing, okay, this activity right here, you could look at this and say that's confirmation, and then ideally, wait for a flip in delta. So like as soon as we see this right here, this is probably the best place to enter, and then just stop loss right below that low right there. But I didn't take it, so I was a little bit frustrated with myself that I hesitated on that, but it's whatever. So instead of forcing anything or doing anything stupid, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna remain objective. I'm going to wait for my next area of interest to see if that hits, and that was up at 75 to 80. So you can see I took an early short here, and there was another entry that I took early, which accidentally ended up to be 7 contracts. So then I got out of that position because I didn't like it, and I took another loss on that. So first 2 entries brought me down negative 200 PNL. And then my third entry had the best confirmation. So I'm gonna walk you guys through that. I'll also show you my first entry because the confirmation was kind of there, but it really wasn't as strong as the third time, which it was definitely strong, and I'm really happy with that entry. But I'm just gonna pull up my report card, followed all my rules today. The first entry was based on this buying activity right here. This buying activity right here, I saw this, you can see barely the CVD. There's a lot of buying here that was lacking reward. That was occurring right at my 75 level. Let me pull the footprint over here. It was this right here. You see that right here? So it was this right here, and then I waited for the delta to turn around, which I kind of got by looking at right here. So that was my first entry. My first entry, it was right around here, got stopped out. Essentially, my second entry was the same situation, which was right here. And you can see the delta kind of flips. This is where I said the entry confirmation wasn't the best, because it's not like there's a super crazy amount of buying that's getting absorbed up here. Yes, this could have been a point of interest for me to watch. And like the first entry, I won't even say it was too bad. Like it was there, it just wasn't strong enough. Second entry was definitely a reach. Third entry was quality for sure. And the reason why is because we had this happen, and this is like double the amount of confirmation that I had on that first one. So I'm viewing all this buying up here as essentially like an exhaustion. So whenever I see this buying delta right here at my key level, 75 to 80, it's the same idea. This is just like the third time, and this time is honestly the best confirmation I had. So as soon as I see this, I'm like, all right, let me see the delta turn around. If I see the selling step in, then I'm taking it short. So I waited for the selling to step in. Didn't really see it the best on this first initial little reaction leg, whatever you want to call it. And then I took it after we had this right here. As soon as I seen the delta kind of flip around like that, I was like, all right, it's worth for me to take it. I took it. My stop loss, my entry price, I believe, was 77.50, and my stop loss was above this high a day. So it was really like really tight risk, like 2-point risk. And my target, the first target was 67. My second target was 57. So here are my fills. I know it's hard to see because my color is the same as the candlestick, but right here is where my entry is. My first target was 67. I took it off a little early. I think I took it off a little early, 69.75. I just wanted to lock something in, so I took it off. My stop loss was at break even very quickly. Actually, like as soon as I was up like 4-5 points in profit, I put my stop to break even, because I was like, if this thing comes back, like I'm wrong. So that was that. And then what happened here was a lot of buyers got trapped. So this was just like a green flag in my trade. If you guys look at my report card, you can see in my green flags, red flags section, I talk about this, but essentially this just looked really good for me. And that's why I decided to wait for my other half of the contracts. Should have waited for my planned target at 57. I took it off at 61.25, and that was because it seems like the buying was there, but it seemed like it was almost getting absorbed just a little bit, and I didn't like it. So I was like, I have to lock this in. So I just locked it in right around there. But my live recording, I didn't enable my Sierra P&L screen on my long form format for some reason. I have it on my short form. So if you guys want to see my live trade, it's on my TikTok. But yeah, I don't know why I did that, but yeah, it was a good day, good execution day. Definitely could have been a little bit better, especially with that second trade. But if you guys like these videos, give the video a like and subscribe to my channel. If you want a link with order flow traders, hit my Discord. I think everyone for the most part was chefing today, but yeah, so I'll catch you guys in the next one.